September 30th, 2023, 4:30 a.m., Bellevue, Washington. A white Porsche 911 crashes, triggering a series of events that shook the North American Chinese community. The intersection of Highway 108 and Highway 520 became the stage of a devastating tragedy. The driver, a 26-year-old woman named Ye Ting, lost control of her vehicle, causing it to overturn on the greenbelt. The passenger, a 27-year-old man named Liu Yubao, didn't survive the crash. Ye Ting and Liu Yubao were not just any ordinary couple. Their lives were intertwined with promising careers and shared dreams. She was a programmer at Apple, and he was an engineer at TikTok. Together, they represented the epitome of success in the Asian immigrant community, but their lives took a drastic turn that fateful morning. As the police arrived at the scene, they quickly connected the dots. The cause? Allegedly, drunk driving and speeding. It seemed Ye Ting's impaired judgment, perhaps fueled by alcohol and the thrill of speed, led to the accident. However, this was just the beginning of a series of events that would unravel in the days to come. The tragedy didn't end with the crash. It extended beyond the accident scene, into their personal lives, their careers, and the hearts of their loved ones. The police report was just the tip of the iceberg. It pointed to a possible cause, but it couldn't predict the storm that was about to hit. As the news of the accident spread, it didn't take long for the story to take a darker turn. The aftermath of the tragedy was filled with mystery, accusations, and a desperate search for truth. But as the dust settled, the story took a darker turn. Before the authorities could apprehend her, Ye Ting vanished, leaving behind a trail of deception and fear. In the blink of an eye, this 26-year-old programmer from Apple was gone. The eerie silence that followed was deafening, and the void she left was filled with a flurry of speculations and theories. Social media was ablaze with claims that Ye Ting had fled back to her homeland, China, fearing the repercussions of her actions. The digital world became a breeding ground for rumors, with some even suggesting that she had plotted her escape well in advance. The most startling revelation, however, was her alleged attempts to conceal the death of her boyfriend, Liu Yubao. Friends of Liu came forward, painting a picture of a woman who went to great lengths to keep the truth hidden, spinning a web of lies to those who knew them, and even making secretive exchanges of large sums of money in WeChat groups. As the news of Ye Ting's disappearance spread, a wave of shock and condemnation swept through the North American Chinese community. This was not just any young woman. This was Ye Ting, an internet celebrity known for flaunting her privileged lifestyle on social media. Her sudden disappearance following the tragic accident was a jarring contrast to the glamorous life she had once showcased. The public reaction was a mix of disbelief, anger, and curiosity. How could someone so young and promising be involved in such a troubling series of events? How could she just vanish, leaving behind a life that many could only dream of? The questions were many, the answers elusive. As the days turned into weeks, the mystery around Ye Ting's whereabouts deepened. Her silence was deafening, and the void left by her departure was filled with a growing sense of unease. The once admired internet celebrity had now become the subject of a disturbing mystery, her story a chilling testament to the dark side of fame and fortune. The mysterious disappearance of Ye Ting left more questions than answers, and as the public waited with bated breath, the law enforcement agencies were just beginning to unravel the intricate web of deception that was left in her wake. This was a story that was far from over, a story that would continue to haunt those who knew her and those who followed her for a long time to come. As the public clamored for justice, the M2 Profile team started to piece together the events of that fateful night. The M2 Profile team, armed with a barrage of emails and messages from fans, began to painstakingly reconstruct the timeline leading up to the fatal accident. Their investigation led them down a winding path filled with sordid details and shocking revelations. They discovered that Ye Ting had been driving at an alarmingly high speed, far beyond the legal limit. The white Porsche 911, a symbol of her lavish lifestyle, became an instrument of destruction that night. She lost control of the vehicle and, in a horrifying turn of events, collided with a concrete barrier. The impact was catastrophic. Liu Yubao, her passenger, had no chance of survival, but the reckless speed wasn't the only factor at play. The evidence suggested that Ye Ting was under the influence of alcohol. The police report, corroborated by the M2 team, pointed towards impaired judgment as the primary cause of the accident. Ye Ting, it seemed, had been driving drunk. Further investigation into Ye Ting's activities prior to the accident painted a grim picture. Her recent acquisition of a driver's license, coupled with her refusal to provide information about Liu Yubao, raised more questions than answers. It was as if she was hiding something, as if there was a sinister plot unfolding. The M2 profile team presented their findings to the prosecutor's office. Their evidence was irrefutable. Ye Ting was suspected of violating the motor vehicle homicide statute. The charges against her were serious: negligence, drunk driving, and reckless driving. The prosecutor requested a $2 million bail, along with stringent conditions. Ye Ting was to surrender her passport, refrain from driving, and was not to leave the state of Washington without court permission. The evidence was mounting against Ye Ting, and the law was closing in. With Ye Ting on the run, the prosecutor's office took action, seeking justice for Liu Yubao. The legal proceedings that followed were as swift as they were stern. In light of the compelling evidence pointing to Ye Ting's negligence, reckless driving, and refusal to provide information about Liu Yubao, the prosecutor's office applied for her arrest. This was a crucial step in ensuring that Ye Ting would face the consequences of her actions. But the legal strategy didn't stop there. The prosecutor went on to request a hefty bail of $2 million. This was no arbitrary figure. It was a calculated move designed to ensure that Ye Ting, if apprehended, would not easily evade the law again. The conditions of her bail were stringent. She was to surrender her passport, abstain from driving, and remain within the state of Washington unless she received explicit court permission to leave. This was another layer of precaution to prevent any potential flight risk. Meanwhile, the search for Ye Ting continued in earnest. Authorities, aware of the rumors circulating on social media about her possible escape to China, extended their search internationally. The case had gathered significant attention, and the pressure to find Ye Ting was mounting. The pursuit was relentless, the objective clear: to bring Ye Ting before the law and provide closure to Liu Yubao's family and friends. And so the case stands: a tragic car accident, a suspect on the run, and a community demanding justice. The legal proceedings are ongoing, the search for Ye Ting continues, and the echoes of this sad tale reverberate within the North American Chinese community and beyond. While Ye Ting remains at large, the pursuit of justice continues. This tragic incident, the actions of Ye Ting, and the ongoing search for justice have left a lasting impact on many. The ripple effect of this event has swept across the North American Chinese community, sparking outrage and a quest for justice that continues to this day. The once admired internet celebrity Ye Ting is now the subject of widespread disdain and condemnation. The backlash against Ye Ting is not just a reaction to the accident itself, but also to her actions in its aftermath. The alleged attempts to conceal her boyfriend's death, her sudden disappearance, and the rumors of her escape to China all contribute to a narrative that paints her not as a victim, but a fugitive evading responsibility. The ongoing search for justice is fueled by a community that refuses to let this incident be forgotten. From social media campaigns to personal testimonies, there is a collective effort to keep the spotlight on Ye Ting and the tragic loss of Liu Yubao. Despite the physical distance, the digital world has brought everyone closer, united in their pursuit of answers and accountability. But beyond the quest for justice, this incident has served as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of reckless actions. It has brought to light the importance of personal accountability and the potentially fatal results of impaired judgment. As we delve deeper into the possible sinister plots of Ye Ting, we are confronted with a chilling reality. What if this was not just a tragic accident, but a carefully planned escape? The thought is unsettling, yet it serves as a reminder that truth can sometimes be more complex and far darker than we might imagine. As we continue to follow this case, we are reminded of the devastating consequences of reckless actions and the importance of accountability. The story of Ye Ting and Liu Yubao is not just a tale of a tragic accident, but a testament to the enduring pursuit of justice and the power of community.